just feel bad for all the people who didn't make it. I had a group of undertaker people from my station. There was 8 people, and they were undertakers in New Hampshire, and there was 8 of them. And they saw the show, but now they wanted to see the second show. And the young couple, didn't want to see the second show. They went over to the Metropolitan Theater. When they come back, their family was all wiped out. I have all those pictures in my scrapbook. So it was tough, you know. Some people just sat there and didn't, you know, when you close the door, you close the lights, you drop off the lights and you look around, you don't know where you're at. You only know that one revolving door. I used to tell all the waiters, there's so many places to get out here, I said, when I first went there. I think of it every once in a while. My buddies are all gone. All the waiters I know are gone. And that's it. It was bad. My brother got burnt, and the flames are tough. People have better stories than I do about the flames, because I saw the flames when they're coming in. I was less than 12 feet away from those flames before I went down the stairs. And then the lights were on. There was a lady down there, cashier. I told her, Mrs. Sweat, you got to leave. She said, no, I'm staying. At 5 o'clock in the morning, I had to go, and she died. She stayed there, and the flames went down there, and she died.
What does a human being feel when they're surrounded by flames? You can't get out the door. What do you feel?
It's tough. It is tough. You don't know where you're at, really. When the lights are out and you're turning, I know in my own home, if I turn all the lights out, I can't make it to the next door, you know? It's really tough. And I know today it's going to be bad for a lot of people. They lost their families and everything. Real bad.
Did anybody ever have a sense that it was the fire trap that it was? The decorations, the kind of things that went up?
The decorations were all palms and all rope. Even the banisters that you went from the Melody Lounge up, they were all rope. They all turned, like, you know, you held on to a banister ride. I don't think it was crowded. There was 1,000 people in there.
Overcrowded?
Or not? Well, there's 400, 500. I'd say overcrowded, but we had a line, we had a rope up, you know, people coming in waiting to get a seat.
But did anybody ever have the thought that if a fire broke out there, it would be as disastrous as it was?
I never really heard that.
You never thought about it before?
No, because I always used to say to all the waiters, I says, you know, this is great. I says, but the doors, there's so many doors to get out of here, you know, but you wouldn't know it. If you went in, you just know the revolving door to get out of. It wasn't crowded, but you know, nightclubs, they get filled up quick, and then there's a line waiting, and that's how they let a few people in.
But there were some of the doors were locked, right?
The doors were. My brother got out the dining room, and there was a Venetian blind in front of it, but there was a door behind that. And they had no exit. Some of the exit lights weren't on.
Sorry, I missed your...
But other than that, you know, it was tough. It was tough. I feel for the people today, because I'm here, and there's a lot of people that didn't make it.
Where was the front door here? When you look at the site now, where was the front door?
The front door was about 1/4 of that wrought iron. Right there. You go down about 1/4, not half all the way. You walk in the wall, and you went straight to the dining room. If you went to the left, after you got the revolving door, there was lady room, men's room, and check rooms. And you kept on going till you got to the end of the building, and then you went downstairs into the Melody Lounge.
What's the lasting image in your mind? What's the image that you've taken all these years you can't get out of your mind?
Well, I just think of the people, like my buddies. I think I went to 2 funerals after that. I'm talking to these guys within a minute or two, you know. Then he went back in. This Frank Balzerini was a maitre d'. He knew about the place, and he ran to the revolving door to try to open it. But you know, we're stuck. If you get 5 people, if you don't get through the door right, you know what happens. So he tried to open it. And some people told me he was out on the street. Some people told me he came back in, and he got caught right where we were talking, right at the beginning of the dining room as you go in. My station was there that night, and I was talking to him.
Sorry, I missed the first part. You were working when fire happened?
Yes, I was a waiter. I was working that night. Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a waiter that night, and I happened to be right at the front of that was my 8 table. We had 2 people with 5, 6 tables. And when they're sitting down, I went over and talked, we got all our work done. I'm talking, the show's just going on, and you try to get all the food out before the show goes on. And I'm talking to Frank, and I told him, we run it around, just look around like that. You can see the foyer. You see the flames coming right the way.
You knew Dottie Miles?
Oh yeah, well, I knew Dottie Miles only by saying hello. I knew she was a young girl, and she was a good singer. And I had a cousin that was in the undertaker business, and Lynn, and he was an older man, and he went to the hospital, and he helped her, you know, going here and there. He had limousines, and wherever she wanted to go, he used to take her. But I only know her from hi, how are you?
We saw pictures. She was beautiful.
She is. She was gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah, jet black eyes.
Yeah, I remember her vividly. If she was in here, I could tell her right away.
Was she dark eyes, dark hair?
I know her. I remember her. Good.
Wow, that's great.
Getting old, pal.